Greetings, everyone, and welcome to a very special online event today. It's called Restore Strength, Flexibility, and Balance in Your Body and Calmness of Mind through the Ancient Practice of Tai Chi. My name is Stephen Dyna. I'm the founder and CEO of the Shift Network, and I'm really blessed to be with you here, getting to learn one of the most ancient practices for balancing our body, mind, and spirit, for activating flows of energy from one of the foremost teachers in the world. Her name is Helen Liang. She's the vice president of SYL Wushu Tai Chi Qigong Institute. She's taught for Shift before, and she really is a wonderful lineage holder who can help bring alive this practice in a whole nother level for us. So thank you so much for joining us today, Helen.
Oh, thank you, Stephen. Thank you for having me. Very happy to be here.
Great. Well, I want to let everybody know up front, we're going to have this hour together. We're going to get some high-level teachings and philosophy, as well as practice and demonstration. And then we're going to have a chance to go much deeper in a brand new program called 13 Posture Tai Chi for Harmony, Strength, and Balance. We'll share a little bit more about that towards the end of the hour. So, Helen, let's begin our journey today with a little bit about your journey and your training and growth in this in the methodology that you're going to be teaching.
I entered the world of Wushu, Tai Chi, and Qigong under the tutelage of my father, Grandmaster Helen Liang, when I was 4 years old. And my father was elected as one of the 17 professional Wushu coaches in China. So Wushu is the proper term for Chinese martial art that's more known as Kung Fu in the West. So my Wushu ancestry goes back 3 generations, as my father started training with his grandfather at the age of 6. So it wasn't like I had a choice back then or had the time to make any decisions. Before I knew anything, I was already being strictly trained by my father. So I was trained on a daily basis with all the Wushu fundamental skills. All sorts of stretching, stances, kicking, jumping, countless short and long forms of the various styles of Wushu. And my father would always ask me to repeat something for 10 times before he would give me some candies, kisses, and hugs. And so, although training was strict, but it was fun. And later, my father went to America, and I was also chosen at that time to become a member of the Sichuan province professional Wushu team. Because it was professional training, so maybe 6 hours a day, so it was very demanding. But I don't think I had given my best while training there. I was having too much fun with my teammates. I could have been much more disciplined and trained harder, like when I was training with my father. After my father went back to China and brought my mom, my sister, and me to Canada, I continued my training with my father, which was the best thing. He's a strict teacher, but a great teacher. He's always very encouraging. And besides physical training, he also introduced me to the written texts of many of the Wushu, Tai Chi, Qigong classics, and as well as to Taoist and Buddhist teachings. And he'd asked me to cite and chant many of the great Taoist and Buddhist sutras. And although I wasn't quite understanding many of the words and concepts, I was nevertheless mesmerized by them. So my father would tell me, it's okay if you don't understand, and just continue to cite, chant, and practice. And one day it will come to serve you. And of course it did, and in big ways. So I continued training with my father and was also an instructor at his institute, the SYL Wushu Tai Chi Qigong Institute in Vancouver, Canada. And my youth life was very different from other kids. It was pretty much all about going to school, training, competing, and help teaching. But I don't think I had ever held a grudge against a life like that. I was never really envious of what other kids were doing. It somehow just felt very natural to me. because I enjoyed what I did. And after graduating from the university with a major in economics, I landed on a very decent job with the Royal Bank of Canada. But shortly after, I was diagnosed with terminal stage lymphoma, and I was given a maximum of 2 weeks of life. So a long story short, I walked away from the hospital and embarked on a healing journey on my own by using Chinese herbal medicine together with my practice of internal Chinese martial art, Tai Chi, Qigong. These arts, right, and the wisdom that came with these arts, and together with the help of Chinese herbal medicine, was what saved my life. And after I got better, I went back to the bank. And at the same time, I continued teaching on a weekly basis at my father's institute. And I was also invited by various organizations and communities to teach and give workshops. So my father and I were very involved with many activities and big projects, like hosting a Tai Chi and Qigong television program of over 130 episodes. My father really wished at that time that I could devote more time to the Institute and help him run the Institute. So I had to make a decision. You know, should I stay with my very decent bank job, or should I devote full time to teaching and the promotion of these arts? And it wasn't a hard decision, especially having had that life and death experience. There had long been a voice deep inside me that this would be my true path. And I had always loved doing wushu, tai chi, qigong. That's where my passion is, and they are my true expression. So, you know, I have so much to share with others. And that's what brought me here today.
Well, remarkable path and tradition, and what a blessing to receive that inheritance from your father, and then also to be able to recover from a death sentence, really, with using the wisdom of your ancestry. So beautiful for sharing all that. So let's talk a little bit about setting the context of understanding Tai Chi from a kind of first a philosophical level. I know that it emerged out of martial arts, but is sort of more of an internal cultivation process. So maybe share a little bit about Tai Chi practice from a high level of why, what is it good for? How is it that it works with our system to really create pathways of energy and possibility for us?
Sure. I guess I'd like to address that from, how on these 3 levels, how Tai Chi really help you on a physical level, mental level, and also, spiritually. Now, first of all, according to traditional Chinese medicine and Tai Chi theory, the key to health is to have free flow of qi and blood. And any stagnation of that flow is what causes pain and illness. So Tai Chi uses slow, relaxed, and gentle postures, condensing and expanding circular movements, and very deliberate footwork to provide a total body exercise, right, promoting the circulation of qi in the entire body. And Tai Chi's gentle movements allow the body to move with less tension than high-paced movements, which require fast muscle contractions. And these gentle movements also allow for good postural alignment, and lengthen and stretch the spine, loosen up the ribs and the internal organs. And all of these work to increase the circulation of blood and qi in the body. And these slow movements also allow the lungs to be more relaxed and therefore increase the intake of oxygen. And the movement of the upper and lower body, they're very well integrated with constant shifts of body weight from side to side in coordination with upper body movements. And when shifting weight, you are keeping your upper body supple and relaxed and sinking your body weight down into the earth through your legs. So you're actually bearing your entire body's weight on one leg during the transition, and sometimes with one leg in the air. And that really builds your leg strength. And of course, right, also challenges your balance, flexibility, and coordination, which can help to prevent falls. So you're moving like this throughout the entire form, bearing your whole body's weight. And the form can range anywhere from 2 minutes to 20 minutes or even longer, depending on what form or what style of Tai Chi you're practicing. So you can imagine how powerful it can be, right, in terms of a complete body workout. Now, mentally, to be able to properly perform these Tai Chi movements in a very graceful way, it really requires you to be very focused and practice concentration and awareness. Your focus follows the slow and deliberate movements and directs the positioning of your hands and feet, which helps you to reconnect your mind with your body. And you're also able to see, feel, and understand your movements with clarity. Because after all, your movements are a reflection of your inner workings. And when you go slowly, you're better able to stay grounded and centered, and you become so much more aware of and sensitive to the state of your body and mind. So you're here in the moment. A major source of stress, anxiety, and tension is when you are not in the moment. And when you are, your qi, your life force energy flows. Okay? Now, spiritually, because Tai Chi is a Taoist art that uses the philosophy of yin and yang as its foundation and training principles, and draws upon elements of Taoist philosophy such as softness, slowness, finding balance in midst of change, using the least effort to accomplish the most, or letting go and yielding, using soft to conquer the hard like that of water, and so on, so forth. And these are the principles that we learn, not just for perfecting the physical practice, right, but to apply them in real life situations and how we can use them to embrace real life challenges and be able to navigate through the ups and downs of life. And the beauty of Tai Chi is that it is through movements that you learn about these principles. Right? The first step is to see if you can cultivate all this with your physical body and learn to be in charge of your body, be at ease with your body. And then it'll be a lot easier for you to take this practice to your daily life and to all the other aspects of your life and truly live it.
What a beautiful overview. And I'm wondering if you could kind of go a little deeper into how can we really, like you had the story in your own life of having a major medical crisis and diagnosis. How can you consciously cultivate Tai Chi practice and energy for healing purposes in your body as well?
What the practice I like to do with you today is a Tai Chi movement. In Chinese, it's called Li, meaning split. I like to use this movement and the Taoist principles behind this movement as a way to address your question here. Now, this movement, Li, actually consists of numerous smaller movements of the hands, arms, the torso, and very deliberate footwork. And together, these movements beautifully demonstrate Taoist principles of balance, softness, yielding, using the soft to conquer the hard, and using the least effort to accomplish the most. I think these Taoist principles are especially relevant for our lives in times like now. We see so much hostilities going on around us. Our culture seems to celebrate so much the young aspects of life. It's all about be strong and fight, or stand your ground, or defend yourself. And the yin aspects are often looked down upon. I say if we are being soft, yielding, flexible, and we are being receptive to opposing opinions and thus change our way of doing things, all these are often seen as being weak. But it's quite the contrary. And in fact, great strength comes out of these seemingly soft actions. And that's, the I guess the example that I can give is my personal journey of healing cancer. I was diagnosed with terminal stage lymphoma when I was in my mid-20s. And that was a time of boundless optimism and big dreams, right, but all being shattered. For many, many months, there was so much self-pity and non-acceptance in me. I was in devastation and deep denial. I felt very insecure and scared. But while all that was going on inside of me, I had to act strong on the outside because that was how people around me were used to see me. That Helen can fight. She's a strong girl. And I wanted to hold up that image. And then after an extremely aggressive course of chemotherapy failed, doctors told me that I had only 2 weeks to live. And my only hope was an extremely painful bone marrow transplant with a success rate of less than 5%. So I had to make a decision whether or not to go for it. If not, there was nothing more they could do for me but to send me home. Now, to make a long story short, when I had finally made the decision of not going for a bone marrow transplant, but just go home to spend the last few weeks with my loved ones, I felt something shifted inside of me. It was as if a switch had been turned on. And that switch was acceptance. So I realized that at that very moment, I had finally peacefully accepted or yield to or surrender to what was happening to me. As it was, there was no more resistance. And I realized that it was okay for all that time to be feeling afraid or devastated. And it's okay to not fight anything. Just allow myself to feel whatever I was feeling, because that was the natural state of my mind. I should just acknowledge it and allow it to be. I didn't need to deny or resist that feeling and force myself to have a strong and a positive mind, or force myself to act strong. Because I didn't have to have a positive or negative mind. They both are a noisy mind. I needed a silent, a yielding, accepting or embracing, right? Embracing mind, embracing everything that was happening to me, be it good or bad, life or death, sad or joyous, yin or yang, the duality of everything. And that's where my practice came to rescue. Right? The principles of yin and yang my study of yin and yang, my understanding of yin and yang. Yin and yang, they're not absolutes. Whatever is happening to us comes and goes. And yin and yang, they're always changing and transforming into each other. Just as fortune can be hidden in misfortune and vice versa. Okay, so if we can just learn to allow the events of life to unfold naturally with no resistance, in another word, yielding. Because according to Taoist philosophy, that our ability to yield, to be flexible, is actually seen as a great strength. And it's been celebrated. Because if we're not willing to be yielding, accepting, and flexible, we become rigid. Lao Tzu, the ancient sage who had written the Tao Te Ching, right? Tao Te Ching is the classic of Taoism, and it's the most translated work in the English language next to the Bible. So Lao Tzu likened this kind of rigidity to a dead branch. He stated in Tao Te Ching that the living are soft and yielding. The dead are rigid and stiff. Living plants are flexible and tender. And the dead are brittle and dry. So by yielding to and accepting what was happening to me, I became soft and peaceful. And when I'm soft and peaceful, my mind is calm. And with the calm and peaceful mind, I was able to uncover solutions and discovered a way for my healing, which was a combination of my practices like Qigong, the internal styles like Tai Chi, and meditation, all these together with Chinese herbal medicine, right? That was the way that healed me. So being soft and calm is what it means to be applying the least amount of power or effort, but accomplishing the most. And using Tai Chi terminology, it would be using 4 ounces of power to deflect 1,000 pounds. Okay? Because you are conserving energy when you're soft and calm. Only when you go head on with something, using force against force, will you be consuming great energy. Right? When I was fighting, denying, or not accepting what was happening to me, I lost so much of my precious energy and made the situation worse. But as soon as I relaxed, yielded to, and allowed for things to happen, my energy was conserved. And I was able to use that energy for healing. And I was truly strong by being soft. So Tai Chi is an art of energy conservation, being soft, yielding, and flexible, right? These are all ways for conserving and building energy. And that's also the movement that I like to do with you today, that movement Li contemplates on, the notion of yielding, redirection, using soft to conquer hard, and finding peace.
Beautiful. Well, I think there's a great overview and of the philosophy and practice. So let's actually take the time now to do that demonstration so that we can all follow along and really embed these principles in our own bodies in a different way.
So first, I'd like to do a demonstration of the movement. And the movement, again, is called Li. Li is the Chinese pronunciation of the movement there, and it means split. I will demonstrate the movement from 2 different angles, just so that you can see how my hands or my legs and my feet are positioned. And then I will invite you to join me, and we will walk through the details together. Okay? So I start by keeping my feet apart, about shoulder width. Soften down the knees, hips, waist. And then I shift weight. Step. Turning, twisting. All right. Now I'm going to show you again from a different angle. Okay. Okay. Now, I like to start actually first with the martial aspect of the movement. Okay, because the martial aspect of the movement is what I think can help you understand the Taoist principles behind this movement. Okay, now this movement is about yielding and using soft to conquer the hard. So if your opponent is coming at you, say for example, it's throwing a punch at you, instead of meeting your opponent with head-on force, what you're doing here is that you are going around him, this kind of footwork. You're going around him, okay? Your footwork in this movement is what allows you to yield by going around him. So now that's the footwork, right, that allows you to yield. The twisting and spiraling movements of the hands and the torso, the gentle turn, twisting, the spiraling movements of the hands, the arms, and the torso is what allows you to absorb his energy and redirect to your advantage. So this spiraling energy is like a vortex of water, strong enough to swallow huge objects, right? Although water is the embodiment of softness. So that's how soft conquer the hard, okay? Now, that's the martial aspect of it. Now, let's do the movement together with me a few times, and I want you to feel it in your body. Okay, so we're going to start by keeping your feet apart about shoulder width. Okay, and then you're going to bend your knees, relax your upper body, really soften the hips, the waist, the shoulders, the chest. And then you're going to gently shift weight over to your right leg. And you open hip, step. I'm showing you the footwork first, and then we'll do the hand movements. Okay, so you step with your heel touching the floor first, and then you pivot. See this pivoting movement. Pivot with your left heel and slowly shift weight up and step up with your right foot. Then you're going to slowly shift weight again over to your right leg. Pivot with your left foot. And then you're going to step back. And you're going to pivot with your right heel again. And then you're going to pivot with your left heel. You get into what we call a bow stance. Okay? So this movement consists of quite a number of smaller movements, right, with the footwork and also with your hands. Now let's go back to the bow stance here for a little bit. The bow stance is where you're keeping your front leg bent so that the knee is perpendicular to your foot, okay? And your back leg is stretched, just nicely stretched, not locked. Okay, so you feel that you're kind of pushing your body weight into the ground, right? Especially through the front leg. You feel after a little while, you may feel sore with your leg, and that really helps build your leg strength. Okay, so that's the footwork. Now, hands, what are we doing here? Again, we have this kind of circular and spiraling kind of movement with hand. From here, your left hand is circling, and your wrist is also going in circular motions like this, going in circular motions, okay? Now, the hand and arm movement there, right, is what allows you there to kind of control your opponent. So you're circling like this. And these spiraling movements of the arm and the hand, the wrist, also promotes the circulation of qi in the meridians of the arms. We have the yin and yang meridians of the arms there, okay? So you're doing this, circling your wrist, and then bring right hand over. And as you're turning your body, you keep twisting your hands and turning and twisting the waist. And you're keeping your hands here in front of your body. So the whole time what you're doing with your hands is that you're going in circular motions. And this is like what I mentioned earlier, it's like a vortex of water. Keep on circling, and spirals in. And then bring it over to the left side. Okay? So these movements of the footwork, the hands, while you're doing these steps and the turning, you really feel energy spirals up from the feet, up along the legs, into the waist area, to the shoulders, and then to the arm, and then expressed through the hands. So you feel this energy spiraling from the bottom all the way up. And as you're turning and twisting your body, you feel a gentle massage of the internal organs here as you're turning and twisting like this. Turning, twisting. See, so you're keeping on turning and twisting your body, providing a very nice massage to the internal organs. Okay, let's do it one more time together from the beginning here. So slowly shift weight. You step, circle, the wrist pivot with your heel, and then you bring your right hand over, and you keep on pivoting with your right heel. Keep turning and twisting your body. Step back. Keep turning and twisting your body, pivoting with your right heel, and into the bow stance. Okay, so I hope that's a very good warm-up exercise there for you, and that you feel this qi energy circulating from your feet all the way up to your body through this turning and twisting and spiraling movement of the hand and arms and the legs, and of course, and the stance. And I hope you get a chance to experience and how that really build your leg strength, and of course your balance, and be able to stretch out like this, your flexibility as well. So I hope you have enjoyed that little exercise there. And I'm looking forward to be going into more detail with you and share more with you in our upcoming course.
So how valuable is it to sort of spend that kind of time going deep into each, like a single posture, so that when you sort of understand all the postures, how they work together, like, is it important to do the deep dive into each one like that?
Yes, it is. It is very important. It is all these micro movements that really make up one movement. Although in Tai Chi, we say we have one posture, and like there say 13 postures, but each posture consists of a lot of micro movements, and it is through these micro movements that you learn about your body. Okay. And of course, you learn and you get to really feel your body, learn about how you put everything together and how things need to come together. Your hand, your legs, the torso, everything has to come together at the right time for a beautiful movement to happen. Okay. So it is very important that we really pay attention to details and really feel these micro movements.
Mm. And then maybe speak a little bit about how then these micro movements of one posture start to string together into a full 13 movement sequence.
Yeah. So each posture, as I mentioned earlier, each posture is consisted of number of, or you can say numerous micro movements. Okay. Now, when you have mastered this micro movement, then you have a perfect posture, or you can say a perfect movement. So now this form is called 13 postures, and we have we have 13 movements, but each movement consists of numerous movements, like the Liang movement that I demonstrated. Okay, so when you have mastered one movement or one posture, that means you have actually mastered a lot of fine details of the movement of the, your arm, your hand, the shoulders, the torso, waist and hips and legs and feet. And all that is going to contribute to the next movement that you'll be learning, because it's the same thing. Every single movement involves the participation of your entire body. So I guess in a way you can say you can practice each posture or each movement on its own over and over. And that will give you actually a lot of good practice or good training, right? Physical training or mental awareness, how you're aware of the movements, of these micro movements. And you can do just train one movement at a time. And if you feel very proficient, or you can see, feel very comfortable with one movement, then move to the next movement, right? You can train a movement at a time, and then kind of, put them together, and it'll flow actually much better when you have mastered each movement individually.
I'd love to say, as we're sort of building into a full practice, this 13 movement Tai Chi postures in a row, sort of like, I'd love to sort of share a little bit more about how that enhances your sense of timing and flow, as sort of like the synergizing between different body parts.
Now, when performing Tai Chi, the body is used in an integrated, connected fashion. And it's never about any individual part of the body. Okay, every movement is a whole body movement. It's said in Tai Chi Classic, when moving, the whole body should be light and agile. with all parts of the body linked as if threaded together. Okay. So it's said that the power is always generated by pushing the foot against the ground. Energy is then bounced back up along the legs and sent to the waist, and then controlled and directed by the waist and sent up to the arms and expressed through the hands. Okay, as I had mentioned earlier when I did the demonstration of that movement. Right, so it's all about how you coordinate every single part of the body so that everything would come together at the perfect time, and you complete the movement with perfect timing. When we say something is of perfect timing, we're saying that in order for something to happen, or in order to successfully complete or accomplish something, the entire universe needs to be involved. Okay? The entire universe would need to work together to make something happen at the perfect time. And that's how intricate it is, right? Everything in the universe needs to be connected to and working with each other. And according to the Taoist philosophy, our body is a small universe. It's a microcosm corresponding to the macrocosm. So the body reproduces the plan of the cosmos. And to perfectly execute a movement, your entire body is involved. Every part of your body needs to come together at the perfect time. And that is true no matter how small a movement or how big and complicated a movement is. So through the practice of Tai Chi movements, we really cultivate on the notion of perfect timing, and always learn to really appreciate how much it takes for anything in life that you want to do or to achieve to be realized, right? The complex intelligence at work in the universe, be it the small universe of your body or the large universe.
Beautiful. You're such a great emissary for the culture and the philosophy and the practice. And I know that people can benefit so much from studying with you. So I want to spend some time now talking more explicitly about your upcoming program that you're going to be offering. And I really invite people to do this, to experience the benefits of Tai Chi in your own life. So the program is called 13 Posture Tai Chi for Harmony, Strength, and Balance, an ancient martial art to improve physical mobility and mental stillness. You can find it laid out in detail at 13taichipostures.com. That's 13, the number, 13 Tai Chi Postures, Taichi postures.com. It's a 7-week program. There's no prerequisite, so you don't have to have a practice already established. Although if you do have a practice, it's going to provide a lot of refinements and deepening and activation. So it really is open to whoever is feeling called. And Helen, I'd love for you to share a little bit in your own words about the broad overview, where you're going to be taking people and what they're going to develop over the course of the 7 weeks with you.
Sure. I will be teaching you this short form. It's called Tai Chi 13 Postures. Now, Tai Chi 13 Postures is actually the essence of Tai Chi. And it's said that all of the Tai Chi skills originate from variations and combinations of the Tai Chi 13 postures. And so it's a short routine which embodies the 13 basic skills that are the foundation of all Tai Chi skills, no matter what style of Tai Chi you do. And you may quickly feel better, more energized, and feel peaceful by practicing this short form. And it's very suitable for beginners, okay, as well as experienced practitioners, and suitable for people of all ages. The routine adopts the Yang style and also a little bit of the Chen style Tai Chi. Okay, though short, its movements are very comprehensive. The key points of Tai Chi are very clear, and it's very suitable for practicing at home. And it lays a solid foundation for more advanced Tai Chi routines later on. So many experienced practitioners also find it very helpful as it helps them understand the movements in greater details, right, and strengthen their basic Tai Chi skills. It only takes about maybe a minute or two, right, to practice, to finish the whole setup routine, right? So which can be practiced anytime, anywhere.
Module 1, your transformative journey into the exploration of Tai Chi's 13 postures begins with the fundamentals to build your body's optimal alignment, strength, and balance.
Yes, in this beginning module, you'll learn about how the form, Tai Chi 13 postures came about, and be introduced to the 13 skills or principles that are the essence of all stylistic variations of Tai Chi. And you will learn the fundamental elements of Tai Chi's standing posture and walking, and experience how the opening movements activate the yin and yang energies of the body and moves Qi, right, your life force energy.
Module 2, discover the power of stillness, the source of movement and potentiality to align the cervical vertebrae, increase blood flow for clearer thinking.
In this module here, you will learn 2 new postures, and these postures will allow you to experience how meditative body movements together with foot stance can empty the mind of chatter and worry, bring clarity and calm to the mind and spirit, and strengthen the muscles of the legs and the core muscles of the abdomen and back. You also learn to build the energy of Pong, the first and foremost important energy or principle of the 13 principles, the 13 energy skills that allows, your entire body to be filled with spring-like energy.
Module 3, the secret of wholeness, bringing the opposites together, the dance of yin and yang to express and build your energy for a life of ease.
This module, we are going to be focusing on the notion of opening and closing. Opening and closing is inherent in every Tai Chi posture, and that's the way to expand the dance of yin and yang in your body, as well as in your life. That opening is a time for expressing energy. Closing is a time for building energy as you journey through your life's ups and downs. Right? So the new movement helps to open, helps you to understand the notion of opening and closing, and also help you open up important energy gates in the body, so to promote the smooth circulation of Qi in the important vessels. You also learn in this session about another one of the 13 energy skills that is used to yield and redirect your opponent's attack.
Module 4, be as water, soft, flexible, and adaptable, cultivating your ability to adapt to different life situations.
Yes, water is soft and flexible, but also has the power to erode the hardest materials, like rock and metal. Right? So using softness and flexibility as a way of advancing in life is what you will cultivate from the learning of this 7th posture. Okay, so and also the learning of the posture 8. Okay, that's another one of the 13 energy skills. Through posture 8, you will also cultivate your ability to survive many different circumstances by adaptation. And you also learn 2 important footsteps that form another 2 of the 13 energy skills, and experience how they help balance the left and right side of your body's energies.
Module 5, empower your life through the acceptance of the natural rise and fall of energy, the way of the universe. Inspire you to gracefully embrace life's ups and downs.
Everything in the universe shows patterns of expansion and contraction, rising and falling. And this is the Tao, or the way of the universe. So the continuous flow of posture 9, 10, and 11 mirrors the cyclic nature of the Tao's endless motion and change, and will inspire you to gracefully embrace life's rise and fall. Okay, and these movements and postures also help build your coordination, flexibility, strength, balance as you maneuver through the micro movements, the fine movements of the shoulders, arms, hands, waist, hips, legs, and feet.
Module 6, balance and harmony created through unification of the inner and outer so your body feels perfectly connected.
Yes, and this is the Mandarin pronunciation of this is called 内外相合. Now, Tai Chi has the theory of internal unification and external unification. 内外相合, that's what it means, internal and external unification. So through posture 12, you will learn how the body becomes a harmonious unity once the internal and external harmony is achieved. And this posture 13 will also teach you an energy skill that cultivates grounding and rooting.
And finally, Module 7, integrating the 13 postures, supple as water, strong as the mountain, so you can accomplish more with minimum effort and maintain inner tranquility in your everyday life.
In this final session, you will learn about 发劲, 发劲 meaning power emission, and understand how suppleness and relaxation is the source of power and strength. So you will practice also the form from the beginning to the end and weaving together the essential features of Tai Chi 13 postures and experiencing a free flow of the entire form.
Well, what a powerful and grounded and really graceful way to approach the development of Tai Chi practice that really serves on so many levels. So again, the whole program is laid out in detail at 13 Tai Chi postures. That's the numbers 13 TAICHI postures, 13taichipostures.com. So as we said, it's a 7-week program. It's laying the foundations. You don't have there's no prerequisites. You're going to get not only the 90-minute live sessions with Helen, which includes interaction time, Q&A time. There's also recordings of each session, both video and audio, as well as word-for-word transcripts to work with, study, and highlight. There's a Facebook community group to support you and deepen your experience. And there's also a couple of extra bonuses on the page there that really enhance your journey as well. There's a PDF guide from Helen called The Essentials and Guidelines for Correctly Learning Tai Chi. And there's a special bonus on the page there that's a video teaching from Helen called Wu Chi Quan Performed Outdoors. So you want to share a little bit about that special bonus folks get when they sign up by midnight tonight?
Yes, this is called 无极拳, and 拳 meaning fist. So it's the fist of Wu Ji. Now, Wu Ji is an internal style of Chinese martial art, just like Tai Chi. Okay, so Wu Ji, this term actually refers to the primordial state of the universe. Okay, now Tai Chi, right, is the force that's generated from this Wu Ji state, the primordial state of the universe. Okay, so Tai Chi is this force that then differentiated this Wu Ji state into the two polarities of yin and yang. Okay, so this Wu Ji refers to the primordial state of the universe. It's an internal Chinese martial art, and that is for of course, for training the body, for our building our physical strength, physical health, right? And very similar to Tai Chi. And it's a training for the mind. And very importantly, it's also a spiritual training. And the philosophy, again, it's the Taoist philosophy behind it is what really helps you. And, that you can bring these principles, philosophy, into your life and practice in your daily life. So this is a form, it's a very long form, okay, a lot of movements, okay, but these movements, again, because the form is very versatile, right? You can practice this form as a martial art practice, like for your physical training, but you can also do it meditatively because there are so many elements and movements and postures that are very good for qigong practice, and for meditation practice as well. So it's a very versatile form, and it's a very ancient form, and not that many people know. Well, many people have heard of it, but not that many people have seen the form. Not to mention about practicing the form. I inherited this practice from my father, again, and this is through the generations of my family. So it's a very, very precious and sacred teaching.
Well, that's a beautiful extra reason to sign up right away to get that special bonus. So again, this is going to be such a powerful and grounded and really empowering program. And so you can find all the details at 13taichipostures.com. 13taichipostures.com. A little bit more that we haven't covered to get not only the full program, the bonuses, you're also going to get the live community, and we've kept the investment really accessible. It's just 3 payments of $109. You save 10% when you pay in full with 1 payment of $297. The course is going to start January 12th, run Thursdays at 1 Pacific, 4 Eastern. But even if you can't make those live times, you can still get the full value with the recordings and the transcripts in the community as well. And also on the page, you'll see some great testimonials about Helen being a great teacher, gifted teacher, enlightening. This course was great. This is all about the previous program that she taught for the Shift Network. So you're really in good hands, and you're plugging into a deep lineage stream, and you're going to come away with very precise and illuminating teachings that help you develop a Tai Chi practice that can really sustain you for years to come. So again, you can find all the details at 13taichipostures.com, 13taichipostures.com. So Helen, we're at the end of our time. Just any final thoughts for folks who are considering going deeper on this journey with you?
Well, no, I wanted to thank you, Stephen, for having me today. I'm very looking forward to sharing more deeply with you. And no matter if you are a beginner or a long-time practitioner, I'm confident you will benefit from the course and gain deep understanding of this art. And this beautiful art and the wisdom that's embedded in the art will transform the many aspects of your life and bring you balance and harmony. And I am deeply grateful that I will be with you on this journey of discovery. So I look forward to seeing you in the upcoming program.
Beautiful. Thank you, Helen. Thank you for your radiant teaching, and many blessings to all of you who have joined us. And if you want to go further, you're warmly welcome to do so at 13taichipostures.com, and you get that special bonus of the outdoor teaching practice when you sign up by midnight tonight. So many blessings, and thank you so much.
Thank you.